If you saw Trump take off on a so-called diplomatic trip to the Middle East just back in May and come back with a $400 million jumbo jet from the Qatari royal family and thought that that was a little odd, well, this week's episode is for you. These trips are taxpayer funded because diplomacy is part of the duties of the president. But this trip in particular seems less about protecting American interests and more about clearing the way for his family to close business deals in the region. While U.S. tax dollars covered the cost of his travel, security, and staff, his sons were softening the ground ahead of him, announcing new Trump towers, resort deals, and cryptocurrency ventures. In Dubai, Eric Trump announced an 80-story Trump tower. In Oman, they're building a Trump golf course. In Qatar, the Trump organization is partnering with a real estate company backed by the Qatari government, while Saudi Arabia is on board signing Trump hotel deals. At a crypto conference in the UAE, a state-backed fund announced that it would use the Trump family's new digital currency as part of a multi-billion-dollar investment. This was all just one trip a few months ago. And now, well, now we're starting to see the chickens come home to roost. UAE is ready to collect on its $2 billion investment in Trump's stablecoin in the form of billions of dollars worth of AI chips from the United States and help building data centers. This deal has been held up recently for, well, as you might have guessed, national security reasons. Likely the same national security concerns that President Biden had considered when he put in place a rule limiting the number of AI chips to certain countries, a rule that was promptly reversed earlier this year. Not to mention our Department of Defense finalizing the deal any day now on that $400 million free gift jet from Qatar. Putting the overwhelming ethical and legal issues aside for a moment, let's talk logistics. The Qatari government had originally specified that this plane would remain in the custody of the U.S. Air Force. But that language was mysteriously removed during negotiations after the Trump administration objected. Now, the plane is expected to eventually be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library. You know what? That's quite a parting gift for a public servant. Our founding fathers anticipated greed like this when they crafted the Foreign Emoluments Clause, which indeed prohibits federal officials from accepting gifts, payments, or titles from foreign governments without congressional approval. Even more troubling, refurbishing and retrofitting this plane to comply with the security and the communications capabilities that Air Force One requires will cost upwards of hundreds of millions of dollars and will probably take years to complete. So he'll get to use this plane for maybe a year as president and then get to use it any way he wants when he's no longer in office. And no, that Trump Presidential Library won't be paying for any of it. We will all be paying for it, you understand, because while our intelligence and security agencies will have the Herculean pet project of stripping this jet down and rebuilding it up to code, the money required to do so will come out of the Air Force budget, pulling massive amounts of funding from other military priorities for Trump's newest vanity project. We have a problem if our national security is dependent on whoever distracts Trump with the shiniest bribe. The president, he is supposed, she is supposed to represent the needs of the American people. And when the president has a financial motivation to set those needs aside, our country's future is at risk. This government isn't investing in Trump properties and products because of their reputation for terrible quality. They're investing in influence and using this to impact U.S. policy. And when the president allows that kind of access, it undermines everything the office is supposed to stand for, kicking the door wide open for bribes from the highest bidder.